Apple's new 15-inch notebook may look thinner and lighter than older MacBook Pro models, but there's no mistaking this for a MacBook Air. For $21.99, users get a faster processor, more RAM, a solid-state drive, and a Retina display usually only seen on the new iPad and iPhones. But is it what the company calls the most advanced Mac they've ever made? We got our hands on one to find out. First off, it feels lighter, a little bit lighter than the 13-inch MacBook Pro, but because that weight is spread across a much larger sort of body, it doesn't feel quite as heavy when you're actually carrying it around. The screen is every bit as sharp as you probably expected it to be. Apple says the MacBook Pro's new 15-inch Retina display packs 4 times the pixels of previous screens, and it really shows. Everything is sharper, blacks are blacker, and the screen is a lot less reflective. I mean, it's still not great for using outdoors, but it's a lot less of a mirror than screens were before. It also doesn't really run hot. As the owner of last year's 13-inch MacBook Air, I found the laptop can really run hot when you're doing things like watching high-definition video or have multiple apps open at the same time. When that happens, the fan really loudly kicks in. The new MacBook Pro has what the company calls a new asymmetric fan, with small vents on either side of the notebook's bottom, which allows quieter sort of day-to-day operations. And in our day-to-day use, we found that to be pretty much true. Of course, not everything is perfect. The screen could be brighter. Sharp as it is, I kept reaching over and trying to crank up the brightness and realized it was already at the highest setting. Also, the power adapter, which we usually take for granted, is different. To make way for the MacBook Pro's thinner body, the company also trimmed the laptop's power adapter. That means the adapters from older notebooks or the standard MacBook Pros of this generation won't power up this particular model without a $9.99 converter. It's a pretty minor detail, but it's something to remember. And the price for $21.99, it's really not for everyone. Mostly power users doing video editing and other sort of processor-intense tasks. For them, it is one of the best options around. But for the average consumer, it will probably be hard to justify that high price point. A PC laptop would get you faster parts for a lower price, but it definitely won't have the razor-sharp display or Apple's iconic design. And given the company's record, it's also unlikely the price will come down anytime soon.